I'm frogging it. Hey, welcome to the vlog. My name is Jessica from Bird's Nest Crochet. If you're new here, I make cozy crochet content that features crochet, coziness, my small business where I make laser engraved stuff for my fellow fiber artists, kitties, coffee. If all of that stuff is your vibe, then hit subscribe because I got you. I am not doing a day in the life, a week in the life, whatever. I just want to take you along as I'm working on some WIPS over the course of today and probably a few other days as well. I have kind of a lot of projects in progress right now, and I am going to finish some of them in this video, and I'm just going to make progress on some of them in this video. But the first thing that I'm making today is actually a cute little project that I need to finish tonight, because it's going to be a gift for one of the students at our church that is going off to college. I was her youth pastor for several years. She has also been on the worship team with me for like 7 years, and she's also a crocheter, so I know she'll appreciate this, but I wanted to make her something that she could take with her to put up in her apartment where she's going to be at college. And so I'm starting off with this round patch, which is one of the patches from my Faith collection. This is a mandala patch, and I thought that this phrase specifically just fits her whole vibe. It says "Make Heaven Crowded," and I am going to crochet onto this. We're going to make a little mandala, and this will hopefully be something that she can put up in her bedroom at her apartment at college. Her mom did tell me that she bought a comforter, like a bed set that was black with pastel flowers. So I thought that the black with the gold engraving would be nice, and then I'm going to grab, she didn't tell me what pastel colors, but I'm just gonna grab an assortment of muted pastel colors from my yarn wall, and I think even if the colors don't perfectly match the bedding, it's still gonna be a super cute addition to her room. So let's get started. Okay, I've got my pattern and I've got my colors picked out. So just as a reminder, this is the patch that we're doing. And I decided to go with 4 of my kind of pastel colors. I've got this very light lavender purple. I've got a light green, a light pink, and a light blue. So I've got those 4 colors, and this pattern uses 5 colors. I really wish I had like a butter yellow, like a pale yellow color. I feel like that would really round this out, but instead, as a kind of border, like the final round, I'm gonna use black to kind of tie it back into the center patch that's black, since the bedding is black with pastel flowers. I think that'll look nice. I think this is one of those palettes where when you see it before it's all made, you kind of go, oh, I don't know, but like, it's gonna be a trust the process, and I bet it's gonna be really pretty, so let's get started.
Shipwreck in the dark, far from the harbor, far from the start. In a storm, I lost my sails, I lost all direction, got caught in the veil. I didn't know love till you found me. I didn't know love, lost in the sea. I didn't know love didn't know love. Didn't know love. She was sinking, falling fast. So I abandoned ship, held on the mast in the ocean, wild and loud. I was just waiting, I was drifting out. I didn't know love till you found me. I didn't know love, lost in the sea. I didn't know love till you found me. I didn't know love till you set me free. Didn't know love. 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 I didn't know love. Cutting corners. Where do you go? Breaking borders. What do you know? Follow your heart. What do you say? Fight the darkness till break of day. The heart and the past changes so fast, like a chameleon. Red ones and blue skies. What did we know? We were so very young.
Okay, I am done with the main portion of crocheting. I've got obviously ends to weave in, so I'm going to do that, and then we are going to crochet this onto a metal macrame hoop or a metal ring. I'd like to add some fringe. It's gonna take more time, but I just feel like it looks more finished when it's got a little bit of fringe at the bottom, so we'll see. Ends are woven in. I'm going to grab a macrame hoop and we're gonna start stitching this on. I don't know if I have enough black to crochet it on, but I also don't know that I necessarily want to do black anyway. I've just received, oh, you just spilled his food everywhere.
Oh, that'll be fine.
Oh, he's hungry. Would you like to come say hi? You're sneaky. Yeah? Tell everybody I'm growing. I'm getting bigger every day. And I'm drinking lots of milk. And I haven't started eating any kind of wet food yet. No, we just like milk right now, but hopefully soon. You're squeaky. You're very squeaky. Anyway, as I was saying before I was interrupted by both cats, I don't think I want to crochet the mandala onto the hoop with the black anyway, because I think it would kind of muddy the design. So I'm thinking I might do the purple, since that's at the very center and there is the least amount of it. And I definitely have plenty to get around the hoop. I think that could be pretty. So, let me see. They do stretch quite a bit. So I have this size, and I think, oh yeah. Yeah, that'll fit. Okay, so I will show you how I do this. It's been a while since I've made one of these. This is a 12-inch ring, by the way. So if you see this project and you're like, oh my gosh, I want to make one of these for myself, any of my round patches on my website work with this pattern. They all have the same amount of holes, they're all the same size, and I have, I mean, at this point, I've got a number of collections that have round patches as part of the collection. So I have seasonal ones. You could do a fall one, like the fall mandala that I showed in my fall decorating video. You could do a faith inspired one like this one. I have a bunch to choose from in the faith collection. I have Christmas ones. I have fall themed, I said fall. I have the original collection, which is just like wildflower themed. So there's wildflower ones. I'm probably missing some options, but if you really if you're seeing this and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so cute, I have to make my own. Like I said, you can get any of the round patches from my website, which I always have my website linked in the description of these videos, but it's also just the same as my channel name, bergsnestcrochet.com. And then when you go to the mandala patches listing on my website, you will also find a link to the pattern. So this pattern was written by Laura from Be Unique Boutique. She wrote this pattern in collaboration with me when I first released the wildflower mandala patches, and we kind of worked together. I designed the patches, she designed the pattern to go with the patches, and I love this pattern. I've made it lots of times and it's always so fun to make. So you can get the pattern and the patches from my website. The pattern, you can get the link to the pattern from my website. So you purchase it from, I don't remember if it's her Etsy or her direct website, but either way, you can find the pattern through my website. The 12-inch hoops, you can find any craft store, you can buy them online. They're not hard to find. If you're looking in a physical store, most often you will find them with the macrame stuff because that's typically what they're used for more often, or sometimes you can find them with floral stuff because people will make, you know, wreaths and floral arrangements with these as well. But what I'm doing right now is I am taking stitch markers and I am going through the picot stitch at the top of each of these kind of petals, and then I'm literally just stitching it to the hoop. And the more of these I add, the more it will start to stretch out. And this really helps to keep it even and keep it in place as you're working with it. And it just makes it a lot easier to crochet on rather than just trying to do it without it attached at all. And then as I go through, I take off the stitch markers one by one as I go from one petal to the next. If I remember correctly, and I'll show you guys how I do it, but I think I did 14 single crochets in between each petal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to like slip stitch into the petal and slip stitch it to the wreath, and then I'm going to do single crochets just around the wreath from one point to the next. And I think I did 14 in between. Slip stitch into this one, do the single crochets in between, slip stitch to this one, and then, you know, all the way around. And then optional, you can also add some fringe to the bottom portion of it. I don't always do that. Sometimes I just leave it as is. I think for this one, for time's sake, I'd rather not. Because I wanted to get to other projects tonight too, and if I do the fringe, this is gonna be probably the only thing I'll work on tonight because I have to have it done by tomorrow. Tomorrow is her last day at church before she goes off to college. So if I decide to do the fringe, this will probably be the only project I work on tonight. But I do feel like it just makes it look really finished and beautiful. So I probably will. But the good news is tomorrow afternoon and evening, I don't have any plans, anything going on after church. And Labor Day is Monday, which means even though I can't really afford to take a full day off, I can certainly at least allow myself to sleep in, right? So I can crochet as long as I want tomorrow. And I just had an idea. One of the things that I did for one of my mandalas is I put wooden beads on the fringe. And it was this like really, really beautiful extra detail. And I probably will do that on this one as well, but I'm just remembering, not only do I have small round wooden beads that I've used for these projects in the past, but I also have some leftover geometric ones from the summer box when I made the yarn cutter necklaces. So I could do both round and the like geometric hexagon shaped ones. That would be pretty as well. I ran out of stitch markers. I have a ton more. I just have to get the container that they're in. I'm gonna show you guys in just a second. You're gonna see. Oh, honey, he's really stuck. You okay? You okay? Technically, I don't need to put a stitch marker on every single one because obviously I'm gonna start by crocheting onto one. But I am gonna put a stitch marker in every single one because I just want to be able to show you guys the effect that it gives. And look at how beautifully, I really, really love the difference in when it's just laying flat versus when it's stretched out onto one of these hoops, because it really makes the stitches have beautiful definition and it just takes it from like blah to like wow. So look at this. Hey, sir, can you not try and be a little escapee right now? The colors were a trust the process situation, and I haven't seen her bedding, so I don't know for sure the colors of the pastel flowers, but I feel like no matter the colors, this is really cute. Now, let's crochet it on. I think this purple, just like it's a really, really beautiful contrast with this black patch here, I think it's gonna be a really beautiful contrast on the outside as well.
That you would believe in me just like the winners know. Tell try my best to move on, to let go. They say time is a healer, just you wait and see. The problem is for me, I need an eternity. So tell me and be honest, tell me, did you know that you would be leaving me just like the winter snow? Tell me and be honest, tell me, should I know that you'd be leaving me so painfully quiet and slow? I try my best to move on, letting go. Letting go. Tell me, should I know?
Okay, I have fully crocheted the mandala onto the hoop, and I'm moving on to the fringe now. I'm not sure how I'm gonna do the fringe. I'm probably gonna do a little bit of each color and kind of like work it in from the sides, and then I might add some wood beads onto it. But I think I am going to work on this from our bed because Michael and I were gonna maybe watch a little show. So maybe I'll take some clips from just my phone because my camera is all attached to my live stream setup right now and I don't feel like taking it all apart. So I might do a couple of phone clips while I work on this in bed, but I will be sure to share the final finished product with you guys. But as of right now, this is what we're looking like, and it is super duper cute, and I hope she loves it, and I hope it will make a nice little addition to her room where she will be at college. Hi, hello. So I'm doing a thing. Remember the winter trees blanket that I have been working on for on and off several videos? I'm frogging it. Let me explain why. As I wind up, I finished frogging it and now I'm winding it back up, and since there's a lot of color changing in this blanket, it's not a simple frog it and rewind it situation. It's taking a little bit more time and effort because I have to like untwist the yarns from each other, so that's fun. So I've been doing this for like over an hour because I've just been listening to a podcast and working on this. So here's why I decided to frog it. have mentioned this in a couple of my videos where I was working on this blanket, that it's very tedious, and I don't want to, like, I'm certainly not trying to throw shade at the creator. I think it's a beautiful blanket, and it could have to do with my technique or the colors of yarn that I chose or just my preferences, but I found the pattern and the stitches to be very tedious feeling to me. I was procrastinating working on it because I just did not want to pick it up. And I wasn't even to the halfway point of this blanket, but I was to the point where I felt like I had to finish it. I felt like I've gone this far, like a sunk cost fallacy kind of situation where I'm like, I've already put this much time in, I've already gotten this far on the blanket, I feel like I have to see it through now. But the more I thought about it and the longer it sat there and I was avoiding it, I was like, okay, this pressure to push through is not really helping me, because all it's making me do is put it off. And at this rate, it's not gonna be done in time before it's needed and this baby arrives. So I started talking to my group chat and I was like, hey, am I crazy for thinking about frogging this and doing something different with this yarn? And we kind of came to the consensus that no, I'm not crazy. And I genuinely felt like I could frog what I had, redo the blanket in a different pattern, and still finish it faster than if I decided to just power through from the point I was at with what I had already finished. And so feeling like I could A, get it done faster, and B, enjoy the process more, because it's like, what am I doing if I'm making myself suffer through something that I really don't like and I really don't enjoy? Like, that's kind of the whole point of this thing, right? Is to enjoy it. And I was not enjoying that pattern. And so once I figured out that I could probably finish it faster, and I would like how it turned out better, and I would like the process of doing it, that was what finally convinced me to say, okay, I'm gonna frog this thing and I'm going to start over. The other thing is that I really wasn't too pleased with how it was turning out. And once again, that could be user error, and it could be just the very, very high contrast of these colors that I picked. But even for all of the painstaking care I was taking in trying to make sure that I was crocheting over the yarn that was being carried so that it wouldn't show through, it was still showing through a bit. And I figured, this is a baby blanket. I made it with acrylic so it can be easily washed, because sometimes baby blankets just get dirty, you know, you gotta be able to wash them easily. And so I figured, if it already is showing the opposite colors kind of poking through, it's only gonna get worse with time and as it's washed and used and loved. So that was, you know, it would be one thing if it was tedious to work on, but it was turning out really, really great and it looked awesome. It's another thing to feel like a project is super tedious and it's not even really turning out the way that you wanted it to. So those are my reasons. Please let me know in the comments if you've ever made a judgment call like this, where you feel like you got so far into a project that it felt like a sin to frog it and start over. But, or I don't know, maybe you did decide to power through, but I would love to know if you've ever kind of come to that crossroads where you're like, okay, I don't really want to finish this and I feel like I'd rather frog this and do something else. So we're just at this kind of untangling part of the project right now. It's not the worst untangling and rewinding situation I've ever been in. I've certainly come up against worse. I actually find untangling yarn kind of relaxing and satisfying. Does anybody else like that? I don't mind. I don't mind untangling yarn, I really don't. I think talking while I'm doing this has made me less effective though, because I don't feel like I've been coming up against this many tangles. But apparently I can't talk and untangle at the same time. Ooh, we broke through a little bit there. So anyway, I do think I found what I'm going to do instead. I found a blanket that I really like the stitch of. It's called the leaf hopper stitch. It was one that I had not seen previously. But the reason why I picked it is because, first of all, I watched the video of the stitch being made. It does not look, it's pretty, it's got some texture to it, but it doesn't look tedious at all. And it also, you don't have to carry yarn over each stitch, so that alone is going to be a big improvement in how simple it feels. And there is a, like, obviously there's just the stitch itself, and then the pattern that I found is a full baby blanket pattern. So it's not just the stitch, it's like a whole pattern for the blanket. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do, if I'm gonna just kind of, not freehand it, but like come up with my own combination of stitches, because I really like the leaf hopper stitch and I am planning to do it, but I do want to have both of these colors in the blanket still, because I do think that this is a really pretty combo of colors and I think it will go with the nursery really well. But I don't, I mean, I could just color block it. I could do, you know, 5 rows of each color or 8 rows of each color or whatever, and then I could just keep doing the leaf hopper stitch but switch it from the gray to the cream. Or I could do the gray in the leaf hopper stitch, and then when I switch to the cream I could do a different stitch, whether it's just a simple double crochet or half double crochet or something else with a little more texture. So I really don't know what I'm gonna do. I might kind of, I might just honestly experiment with it a little bit. I don't have the blanket pattern in front of me, but I do remember thinking that the border that she used for that blanket was really pretty. So I might use the border as well and then just kind of maybe mess with the main part of the blanket a little bit. I don't know. But I'm very excited. I'm actually very excited to crochet this blanket now. And as soon as I made the decision in my head, okay, I'm going to frog this and I'm going to redo it and pick something else, I immediately felt such a sense of relief and then excitement to actually do something different. And that's how I know I made the right decision. That immediate sense of relief and then the sense of excitement to start something new. That was very much like, okay, the fact that I feel like this right now, I feel like this was the right call to make, you know? So anyway, that's the update for now. I wanted to make sure to show you guys, like, this is what we're doing and explain why I wanted to make this change. And now we're going to get into actually making the blanket the way that we want to. I apologize for not showing you an update of where we're at sooner, but I did wind up all of the yarn and it's all organized and rewound. I did rewind all of the gray into one gigantic cake, but you know what? It does still work on the spindle, so. And I have started on the leaf hopper stitch blanket. I'm not necessarily following the blanket pattern exactly, but so far this is where we're at. And you guys, working on this has made me feel very, very justified in frogging and starting over, because I have been enjoying working on this so much more than the previous pattern. It's got some nice texture to it and it's not tedious, it's enjoyable. It's supposed to kind of look like little clusters of falling leaves, and I very much enjoy it. And I'm debating right now whether I should double what I have before I change to the cream color, I think I'm going to, because that would be a pretty short stripe. And obviously less color changes, less ends to weave in. And I want it to be a little bit more of a significant block of a color before I stripe it and change it.
Through the arbor, in the garden room, wings are beating, baby, me and you alone. Pencil drawing phases of the moon, all through the stages, both becoming seen into. Slowly we take on phosphorescence, vivid in the bond, phosphorescence. In the heavens, a billion signals move, call and answer, dozen pairs of two by two. Slowly we take on phosphorescence, vivid in the bond, phosphorescence.
I finished my first little color block of the charcoal gray, and now I am adding on, so far, just 2 double crochet rows in the natural fleck color. And I think what I decided I'm going to do is, there's currently 12 rows of this leaf hopper stitch. I'm gonna do 6 rows total of the natural fleck, and I'm only going to do the center row, or sorry, 7. I'll do 7 rows total, and I'm gonna do the leaf hopper stitch in the middle of it. So I'm gonna do double crochet, 1 more row, double crochet, a leaf hopper stitch row, and then 3 more rows of double crochets, just to kind of, you know, give it a little something that just breaks it up a little bit. Because I was thinking about doing just 3 rows of it and having the leaf hopper stitch be in the center, but that seemed like too short of a stripe. And you can only do the leaf hopper stitch on every other row so that it's all on the right side. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. and I will report back and show you what it looks like, and if I decide to keep it that way. I think I will. I think I'm gonna like it. If you are working on a pattern right now that you are just really hating or not enjoying, and you're putting it off and you're procrastinating on it because it just feels like drudgery, I give you permission, unless it's something that like somebody's already paid you for and you have to unless it's some situation like that, I give you permission to frog it and do something different, because this was a very freeing decision for me, and I am enjoying making this blanket, and I am enjoying this process so much more than I was the previous pattern. And I would say that in less than 24 hours of working on this blanket, I'm already making a decent effort to catching up to where I was and how far I had gotten on the other one. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. And man, it just feels good to actually crochet something that is enjoyable, and I'm enjoying it. Well, hey there, happy Sunday. It is Sunday afternoon. We had a great morning at church, and actually we did something pretty cool this week. Instead of our normal service, we did something called Be the Church. We do this once or twice a year, where instead of a normal church service, we have an abbreviated time of worship and a short message, and then we go outside of the building to be the church in our community. And so we have different groups do different random acts of kindness. Michael and I led a group, and our group went out to get lunch together, and then we left our server a big tip and offered to pray with them. So that was really fun. We went to a place called Mexican Gardens. I had some chicken enchiladas, and now this is Babine, little Murdoch. He's doing very good today, huh? Although we've discovered, I shouldn't be surprised. Ow, his little claws. Shouldn't be surprised that he has ear mites. That was a new discovery. Same as the fleas, he's too little for the actual medication yet. So the best we can do is kind of just take a little warm, damp cotton round and try to clean his ears as best as we can. And the good news is, even though ear mites are itchy and contagious, so we have to be careful with Duncan, they're not necessarily dangerous. They're just itchy and uncomfortable. So try and keep him as comfortable as we can until he's old enough to get the medication, and then that will take care of it once and for all. But we have graduated him a little bit from strictly the playpen that we bought to this guest room. We have a baby gate from when Duncan was a kitten. We've got the baby gate set up here, and we kind of kitten-proofed the room as best as we can. And that's really nice because he's got basically free reign of the room. He can climb and explore and run around. We set up a little bed for him, and this is just a little easier to manage. I don't have to feel as bad about keeping him cooped up in the playpen, but I also have a little bit more room to crochet and work on things. So that's my plan for today. I've got my TV. I'll probably watch a show of some sort or YouTube or something. I think I'm gonna try and get Murdoch to lay down in the bed that we set up for him. That's not this bed. I brought his little heating pad that we've been keeping in the playpen, and that's set up over there. So I think once he really realizes that's over there, I think he's gonna settle in and get cozy, and hopefully I'll be able to crochet without a ton of interruption. He's a kitten, so there's gonna be some interruption. But hopefully I'll be able to at least get a little bit of crocheting done. But that's pretty much the plan for the day. We're going to work on some projects. As you saw, I did finish the mandala for the student that is going off to college. She loved it. And by the way, she showed me a picture of her bedding and the colors were perfect. I didn't end up adding beads to it because I just ran out of time last night. I needed to go to bed and I didn't have enough time to do the beads, but it still looked great without the beads. I don't want to be climbing over the baby gate a billion times, so I tried to bring all of the WIPS that I could want to work on today. I have my plarn mat in the background that you can see here, and I brought 2 balls of plarn with me, so I would like to try and get both done if my hands will tolerate it. I also have the lacy garden top. This is where I'm at on this currently. And I'd like to put in some more work on this. Murdoch is trying to climb inside my crochet bag. Sir? Hey. That's not for you. Get your little paws and claws out of there. Anyway, so I've got that. I've got the baby blanket in here. And I also have the cape, whatever we're calling this, for my mom. And those are pretty much all the projects right now. Plarn mat, cape, baby blanket, lacy garden top. I don't think I'm gonna get any of them finished today, but we're gonna put in some work and we'll see what we get done. I'm gonna try and get Murdoch, gonna try and get him set up on his little bed. Is it crazy boy hours? He's getting more and more playful, and slowly we're starting to get a little more coordinated. No! Stop trying to go after me! Stop it! I decided to go ahead and move on to the second ball of plarn. So I finished the first one, tied on the second, and I figured since I brought the second ball in here and my hands feel pretty good, I'll just go ahead and get the second one done as well. And finishing this up is gonna put us in a really good spot to be a decent percentage of the way done with this mat, which is great. I will be very excited when I can finish this and drop it off at the We Are Plarners group. So I'm just gonna keep working on this. I finished plarn ball number 2. And I can't quite show you guys the full size of this from this vantage point, but you can sort of get an idea. Oh yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. Just a handful more of these plarn balls, and I think we'll be finishing that up, which is very exciting. I think the next thing I'm gonna work on is my mom's cape. I think I'm just gonna put in 1 round on that. I feel like that's a reasonable thing. Like every time I pick it up, just doing 1 round, because there's only 25 rounds total. And I think the round I'm doing now is round 13. And obviously each round gets bigger because it keeps expanding out. So they start to take a little bit longer of a time as you go. If I can keep adding around here and there, it will continue to build. This is where we're at right now. So it's really starting to look like something, which is cool. And that's what I'm gonna work on right now. It's so pretty. Okay, I had to go grab the right size hook and I forgot about this little project that I wanted to show you guys. So I want to make a series of cute little things for Murdoch because I'm hoping that I can get him, holy smokes, focus man. I'm hoping that I can get him used to wearing crochet things and then he'll be okay with it as an adult. So I made him this tiny little neckerchief, and I basically finished it, but I'm just finishing up the little strap right now. And then I think washing it will relax it a bit more, but I just used literally 2 strands of embroidery thread held together, and I'm super happy with how it turned out. So I literally just have to single crochet back down this little chain here to finish the strap, and then weave in my ends and it'll be done. 2 strands of embroidery thread with a 2.5 millimeter hook. I don't have a tapestry needle in here to weave in ends, but we're basically done. I tied it already, so it's kind of giving the appearance of what it will look like when it's kind of curved on him. I'll hopefully get a little video or picture of him wearing this soon, but right now he's asleep and I do not want to disturb him. So now that we're done with that, we will actually move on to this project, which is, once again, basically 2 strands of embroidery thread held together. So that was a little warm up for this project.
Found myself in the cardboard box, feeling sitting deep down. I found a speck, now I can't escape. Oh, you're not one you get rid of. I linger as the ground shakes. Paper cuts on what could have been. Every morning made us better. If only you'd known it when you had me. You had to call me a bad name. You called me with a sad face. Promised shelter, but walls were thin. Then carried me without caution. Want something else, but I end up here.
Okay, I have finished round 13 on this project. It's a little hard to see individually when it's kind of doubled up, but these are some seriously gorgeous stitches. Turning out very pretty, and I'm gonna use my highlighter right here just so that I remember what row I finished. So 13 down, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 rounds to go. Cute, cute, cute. We're gonna set this one aside for now, and I am going to move on to the lacy garden top next. I am feeling skeptical. I'm feeling skeptical about whether I'm gonna have enough yarn for this project. I'm gonna keep going. I at least want to go to the halfway point to help make a decision on whether I have enough yarn to finish this or not. I don't have a whole, I'm basically at the end of this first one, and then I've got about half of this to use because I have 3 total before I need to be at the halfway point. And if you guys don't remember, this pattern stretches significantly when blocked, and it's supposed to. It's very scrunched up, but it's supposed to be stretched. So that does help, but we still have a handful of rows to go, and it's been a while since I've worked on this, so I have to even figure out what row I'm on. So I'm gonna do that, and then we're gonna work on this one. I'd love to get to the halfway point, like finishing the first panel, because then I can make a decision about whether there's enough to actually do this or not. If there's not, I will just frog it, and you know, we'll go about finding another pattern that we could do. And if we can do it, then great, I'm halfway done. So let's get to work on this one.
Through the arbor, in the garden room, wings are beating, baby, me and you alone. Pencil drawing phases of the moon, all through the stages, both becoming seen into. Slowly we take on phosphorescence, vivid in the bond, phosphorescence. In the heavens, a billion signals move,
someone is finally settling in right next to me while I crochet. And I just would like to make a note that this yarn, it's tragic that this yarn is discontinued because it glides on the hooks so nicely, and that in combination with this pattern, it's just a very quick feeling pattern. Like you can kind of fly once you get the hang of it, you can kind of fly through it pretty quickly, and it's so easy to just glide through these rows because of how lovely this yarn is. So I am really enjoying working with this. And I did start a new show on Netflix, Sullivan's Crossing. I'm just on the first episode, so let me know if you have been watching this show as well. I have not really formed an opinion about it yet because like I said, I'm not even through episode 1 yet. Seems to be the setup of your typical Hallmark style. Actually, if you've ever watched Virgin River, it feels very reminiscent of Virgin River in terms of like just the general setup for the show. I do feel like I will be able to get this first panel done tonight and make a decision whether I'm going to continue or not, because of how quickly these rows are flying by. So I'm just going to keep watching this show and keep working on this. I know it's getting a little dark in here. It is totally dark outside, but I have finished the first panel. Now, it does stretch quite a bit. Is that enough? I don't know. But I also kind of decided a while ago that I was going to leave this open rather than have it be like, because it's 2 panels, right? So you got one half here and then the other half will be this side. And then you're supposed to stitch them down the front and down the back to close it off. But I think what I'm going to do is only stitch the back and leave it like an open cardigan. And I might even add some buttons to one side. So that helps with not needing it to be, like it gives me a little more wiggle room with the size. But I'm also thinking, worst case scenario, if I don't have enough yarn to complete the other half, or I do, but it's still not quite wide enough. This yarn has the orangey color and then the like white cream color running through it. And I think I could just take a cream color and add, because either you go to row 25 or 28, but then you could also just keep repeating the row repeats, you know, until you got to the size you wanted to. So if I need to add more space on, I think I would just add some rows in cream, and it would almost be like a little bit of a trim, you know? That's kind of what I'm thinking. So I feel like no matter what, we can make this work. But the reason I'm recording right now, obviously I finished the first panel, so I'm gonna fasten off. But I have my food scale here, and I thought we could weigh this skein to see if I'm way past the halfway point. I'm really bad at estimating these things, so I don't even really want to guess, but it's a little, you know, it could go either way. So the full amount is 100 grams. So if this is way less than 50 grams, well, actually, first of all, before I do that, I'm gonna weigh a full one to see if it is indeed 100 grams. Just to kind of have as a control skein, if you will. Where did that thing go? Here it is. Okay, so is this 100 grams? 90, yeah, 99. Oh no, exactly 100? Okay, it settled on 99. So pretty much, yes. This doesn't feel like it feels like less than half. Oh, you guys, it's 42 grams. 42 grams. I feel like, I mean, how many yards is 8 grams worth of yarn? It's close enough that I think I'm just gonna do it. And worst, like I said, worst case scenario, I have to rip back a couple rows off this first panel and then we make up the difference in the cream color. I say let's go for it. I say let's go for it. But we're not gonna go for it just yet. I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night on this project because I have put in quite a few rows, but honestly, it is looking great. It's super pretty. And we have potentially just enough yarn to do a second panel just like this. And worst case scenario, we do a trim in a second color. That's the plan. Now I am going to work on the baby blanket for a little bit. It is, like I said, tomorrow's Labor Day, so I don't have to get up super early. So I'm not really worried about like getting to bed. And it's like just now turning 9 o'clock in a couple of minutes. So I am game to sit here and crochet for a while longer, but here is where I'm at on the new and improved baby blanket so far. I have done 2 of the charcoal gray stripes in the leaf hopper stitch and 1 of the cream stripes with 1 of the leaf hopper stitch rows in there. Murdoch! And I'm really, really liking how this is turning out so far. So I stopped at the point where I had finished the next block of gray, and I'm gonna maybe see if I can do, maybe I could finish the cream tonight. That'd be great if I could finish that up. Yes, can I help you? Oh, honey. Are you very sleepy? Except for that tail's working overtime. I know he's tired if he's just laying in my hands like this. Baby boy. What that tail doing? Oh my goodness, he's tired. You guys, can you even deal with him? Oh my gosh. He has been running around this room the majority of tonight. He has slept some, but I think he's probably been awake in here, like running around and exploring and climbing and playing. I think this is the longest he's ever been awake, or like the most hours of a day that he's ever spent awake and active. So I think he's gonna sleep really good tonight. I wish it would focus on him, but not only is it dark in here, but the camera never wants to focus on black kitties, unfortunately. Where should I put you, little one? Should I put the baby on the baby blanket? No, I'm gonna put you under here. I hope you stay.
Why did you run over?
Stay asleep, stay asleep, stay asleep. Stay asleep, stay asleep, stay asleep. stays asleep. All right, time to work on the baby blanket. It's 10:15. I'm still going. I'm currently at the halfway point with this stripe of the Aran Fleck color. I'm doing the leaf hopper stitch row right now. And I also have a very rambunctious kitty who keeps interrupting. Ow, and going for my yarn. I put a band-aid on my finger. Tell me if you ever deal with this, where you have like, you know, your skin around your fingernails is just like dry and peeling, and then the little fibers, every time you move the hook in, it like catches and pulls. Oh, it's the most annoying feeling. Oh, somebody's playing with embroidery thread. So I finally decided to put a band-aid over it, and so far so good. Hey, I can't really let you chew on this. It's too thin. You could actually, yeah, that could be a not good situation, mister. Hey, can I trade you? Oh, he is so rambunctious tonight. Can I trade you? Get you some of this yarn. Now, why are you gonna go for my arm? Oh, his little claws are just so... They're not sharp enough to like really do too much damage, but they just hurt. They hurt, mister. Oh boy. So this is my evening right now. Just wrangling this little bean. Yeah. Update on the plarn mat. It's almost done. I am on the final plarn ball, and this is the 4th one I've done today, and I haven't been doing 4 in one day, but I'm just so close to being done that I was like, let's just do it, you know? Let's just power through. So I've been working on it in between tasks and things today, and I discovered that now that it is very large, it is much easier. Ooh, that makes a really cool pattern. It is much easier to actually crochet this standing up. I have it draped over the back of my office chair, and then I'm just crocheting like this, and then when I get to the end of the row and I have to flip it, it's way easier than having it all in my lap and trying to turn it that way. It's much easier to do it when it's oriented like this. So we are going to finish this thing tonight, which is very exciting. And I saved this brown ball of plarn for last, partly because of the color, although it's not really I didn't really plan it exactly perfectly to have like a really pretty color, you know, something that looked really intentional and designed. But the brown bags I've noticed are also smoother. They're easier to crochet with. So I'm gonna finish this last plarn ball, and then we're gonna call this one good.
Tell me and be honest. Tell me, should I've known that you'd be leaving me so painfully quiet and slow? I try my best to move on, to let go. Say time is a healer, just you wait and see. The problem is for me, I need an eternity. So tell me and be honest, tell me, did you know that you would be leaving me just like the winter snow? Tell me and be honest, tell me, should I've known that you'd be leaving me so painfully quiet and slow? I try my best to move on, letting go. Letting go. Tell me, should I know?
Let's see. That's gonna be it, you guys. It's definitely not enough to do another round, so I think we're ready to fasten off. She's a beaut and she's a biggin'. Let's see. I'm 5'8", so it might not be quite 6 feet tall. I mean, it's got some stretch to it, so it certainly stretches to over 6 feet. Hey, I'm pretty happy with that. And I believe the way they do this, well, first of all, I gotta post in they have a Facebook group, We Are Plarners Facebook group, and I need to post in the Facebook group and see if there is anything special they do to fasten off and or weave in ends, because this is obviously, it's just different. It's not your average yarn, obviously. So I'm not sure how you would go about weaving in ends, if you even can do that, or if you just knot it and then cut it and hope for the best. I will ask them, but until then, I know they roll them, and I think they fold them in half first and then roll them up. Let me see. I think this is gonna roll nicely. I just have to figure out what I'm doing with the excess at the end. And the beginning, I still have a little bit at the beginning too. Oh yeah, this rolls up nicely. OMG, you guys. My very first plarn mat. All rolled up and complete. Yay. Today's Monday. The Plarner group meets on Thursdays at the church. So on Thursday, I will have to go and drop this off. It's taken me longer than I wanted to get it done, but I will be very excited to drop this off to them and show them that I didn't just take their plarn balls and then never finish it. Like, look, I did it, and here it is for you. So, yay! Oh, it feels good to check this off my list. Yay. Well, that is going to do it for today's vlog. I very much hope that you enjoyed. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, make sure that you give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed. If you haven't subscribed already, I have a goal of hitting 500 subscribers by the end of this year, and so I would super appreciate it if you subscribed. That way you don't miss another one of my cozy crochet vlogs. And let me know which of the projects I was working on is your favorite, and let me know if you're working on anything. I'd love to hear about it because I love getting inspiration and hearing about what other people are working on. But until the next time, I hope you have some lovely crochet times, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.